Preferring to not date a bisexual woman equals biphobia. Similarly, with dating a bisexual woman, it's like they don't take a relationship with a woman seriously. They're there for the sexual experience. Like, you feel it in the way they eat your pussy. Like, eat my pussy like you worship the ground that I walk on. What is Gucci Can Eaters? My name is Push, aka the Creative Queer, the masculine, cotton eating queen, kumkanikazi, drip magazi with fits, a captain of cool, a grill, gan. Welcome back to yet another video. Another week, another video. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lesbians and lesbians. Is it lesbians? Lesbians and gays and lesbians. Whatever it is. Anyway, guys, welcome back to yet another episode. Namhlanje I can't find my glasses, and the operator ingathi unborn and niboni kakuhle without my glasses. This thing of having a girlfriend who has a purse or a bag, and I like to give her my things and then deliver, but she has my things, so of course, you guys are gonna be sick of me because they're Jola and I have a girlfriend, so and yeah, I'm kind of like obsessed with her and stuff. So my bad. Also, these roses, I got them from her, and they'll never die. They'll always be a reminder of her love for me. No, on the real though, she did help me assemble these because she's a genius, and in as much as I'm creative, I'm not as mathematic and as like analytical and stuff. So the other week she helped me out with assembling these because I was struggling. You guys saw me on the other vlog. I was struggling, besides the fact that maybe I was a bit high, but I don't even think, even if I was like not high that day, I don't think I would have like assembled, because I called her, I said, baby, I can't assemble these things, like it will take me forever. She said, what or not. She put the stuff on the table, she started just like putting it together, and yeah, no, she helped me out. But anyway, that's not today's video. Today's video, as you can see by the title, all about lesbian or queer stereotypes. But before I get into that, I have to get into some queer news this week. At least that I know of in the queer streets this week. What I did come across just before I shot this video was Joburg Pride. They posted something, meaning something is brewing in terms of pride. I did hear last year, it was a disaster. What was I doing last year at Pride? I can't remember the reason why I didn't. Oh, I went to the after party. I went to Same Sex Saturday last year. I went to an after party. But I did hear that last year it was a total disaster, at least from a logistic point of view. And just like how the layout was. So in 2019, I didn't go. 2020, COVID, 2021, I can't remember. 2022, I can't remember. 2023, I went. 2023 Pride March or Pride celebrations that happened, they changed the venue. They were not in Sandton anymore. They went to Wanderers. Is it Wanderers? I think, yes, it is Wanderers Stadium. They had it at a stadium, and apparently for people who have been to Pride before that and after that, that the Wanderers 2023 Pride was the best Pride ever, mainly because of the fact that it was held inside a venue. I will say I did enjoy myself. Ngala Pride. Logistically, it was easy to get into. There weren't any queues. There weren't any lines. In terms of food, there were lots and lots and lots of food vendors. So you weren't standing in lines trying to, buy food and miss out on the show. Toilets, I don't remember going to the bathroom actually. But I can only imagine that if it's at a stadium, there's already bathroom facilities and probably gang bathroom facilities, more than enough, because we don't fill the stadium to its capacity. So those are essentially, I think, logistically, those things that make or break an event. And I enjoyed myself. It was at obviously Wanderers Stadium. And if you wanted to be part of the party, you could go in front, stay genie. But if you wanted to chill, you could sit on the lawn. chill with your friends, catch up with your people. There was also cool photo booths for people who wanted to take pictures. There were stalls around, so you could walk around, see the different Pride merchandise, support queer vendors, etc. So it was a nice overall experience, and logistically it was perfect. The following year apparently was held in Sandton. They went back to Sandton, in the streets of Sandton, and last year I was just like, me and my friends were like, you asked about Talangogu. Let's let the kids do it. Let's let the youth, experience it. And apparently it was a disaster. Well, not a disaster, but from a safety and logistic point of view, it just didn't work. First of all, security, people were in the streets, people's phones were getting snatched. And if anyone knows, if your phone is gone, like, especially in your pride, like, it fucks up your day. Like, go to, and kuba awkward land, you're out with your friend, and then I like the phone, and then it's hard to motivate your friend. Be like, Tom, it's fine, like, man, or whatever. Like, I'll become nandi partying without your phone, So I don't know, whoever the Pride organizers are, just listen to the people. Listen to the people you're making this party for. Being in the streets of Sandton just did not work. Makbeko stadium. Like, how does that not make sense? So, if this year it's held in the streets of Sandton, I'm dizzy. I'm not trying to burn the sun. I'm not trying to lose my phone. And also, apparently, you couldn't hear, because it's a long stretch of stage. If the stage is here and when I was back, I also see the stage. Whereas if it's a stadium, you have a larger surface area in which you can have people. So logistically, you can be on the sides a little bit. It's better to have it wider than longer, especially if your sound system is going to be cuck. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. It is summer. My guns are out. I've been working in the gym. If you did see my vlog last week, it is tough. I'm not gonna lie. Waking up every day, no phone is tough. But I am excited for the summer. This winter was not that great for me. Fashion-wise, I didn't bring the cotton. I'm not gonna lie. I could have done better, but I think winter just caught me off guard. It caught me Mali, it caught me unemployed, so I couldn't really make the moves that I wanted to make. So I'm glad it's summer, and summer's kind of finding me in a better position mentally, a better position financially. So I am ready to play outside with you guys this summer. We are moving closer to the months of Mba. Yes, last scene, summer. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling summer's coming, and yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm also personally working on a couple of projects. Don't want to say much, but continue watching this channel, continue supporting me, and you will see. So yeah, man, that's it in terms of queer news and the general stuff. Let's get into today's video, which is probably why you clicked on this video. Let's go. All right, propaganda that I am not falling for when it comes to queer things, lesbian things. So if you are not on TikTok, this has been I guess a trending TikTok challenge for a couple of weeks, if it is still now or whatever. But anyway, the reference and the idea of this video is based on a couple of TikToks that I saw, and I actually wanted to discuss my list. Regime, a couple of things, or a list of things. I actually wrote them down while I was at work on a little piece of paper. Propaganda I am not falling for. Queer edition, obviously, because this is a queer channel. Number one, U-hauling. They call it U-hauling. They call it spinning the block. They call it going back to your ex. Whatever it is, love back, LP. Jans would say LP, love back, U-hauling, spinning the block, whatever you call it. Basically going back to your ex. I don't believe in that propaganda. And I know a lot of lesbians, Satan hey, ha ha ha, go back to your ex, go back home. Nah, not in my regime. Absolutely not in my regime. And I think for me, as a discussion point, I'm always gonna unpack izinto, but number one, I don't believe as a matter of principle, I believe that people are brought into your life for a specific reason, to teach you something, to show you something, to guide you to wherever it is that you need to go. I also believe that when you meet people ni vibrate frequency ethile. Whatever it is that you believe, according to any tibansayo. Ujola nalamdu mandate. Ujola nomntu amlingeneyo. Wena ba ulingene umuntu othile nizawujola because niku frequency enye. So if you guys are no longer together, it means there was something about your frequencies that at some point were not aligned anymore, number one. Or number two, if we apply the principle of they came to teach you something, it means that you've learned the lesson and it's time to move on. So I think spinning the block for me then does not make sense if we put that as a base principle. If I was once vibrating on this frequency and my ex was vibrating on this frequency, sabonana satibana, sa break up, I believe that I am better than the person that I was I believe that I'm a better person than I was when I dated any of my exes. None of them can come into my life now and find me as the same person. Bayaxoka. If bad bayandazi bayaxoka because bazi 2023 version of me, 2022, 2021, 2020, njalo. So then none of my exes can claim me. That's why I say ana exes, in fact. Anazo, because that person who they knew those years ago is dead. That person is not existing. Hence, are your ex, yeah. So, that's not the point though. But the point is, you holding for me as a matter of principle. I don't believe in that propaganda. I don't believe that, you meet somebody, you lose them, and then you find them again. And they believe you, especially within the lesbian community. I just believe. Also, for me, it's like an ego thing. Like, my ego won't let me go back to my ex. Because it means that whatever reason it is that we broke up, usually maybe a boundary was crossed, a deal breaker was broken, whatever it is. Like, I've talked shit about you to my friends. Now they're like, there's just so many things and principles that it goes against that. I just don't believe in you holding. Good luck if you will an ex yako. I just don't believe it'll work. But I also believe in the principle of going back up until udikwe. But yes, njemba upa at the moment, it's not gonna work out, babes. It's never gonna be there. It's never gonna be them. When just nyamezela while you are trying to find your actual true love of your life. Because believe me, it is not your ex. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Propaganda I'm not falling for is being friends with your ex. I'm not falling for that, not in my regime. I'm not friends with any of my exes. For me, this one is similar to you holding. I believe, again, if we're exes, it means I've trash talked you to my friends. I've told my friends what a horrible person that you are. Everybody hates you, including me. And there's just no reason for us to be friends. Also, I do believe that friendship, if you also take this back and look at it from a matter of principle. What are friendships? What is a friendship? What does it mean to be somebody's friend? Number one, for me, it means shared values. I don't think I share the same values with my exes anymore because, one, I'm not the person that I used to be back when we dated. So I don't share the same values with them. I don't know them. I don't. Number two, it's about, I think friendship is about someone validating your human experience and being a reflection of who you are. Now, I don't think and ex yamu is a reflection of who I am, because I believe that I'm constantly changing and I'm becoming a better person and I'm reaching higher frequencies. You are not a reflection of what? Of me right now. Maybe you were a reflection of me back, go basis dollar, but right now, you're not. You're just not. You're just not. So it doesn't make sense for me to keep a relationship with you when you're not a reflection of somebody that I regard as my friend. Number 3, if friendship is about creating great memories and just sharing life with, why would I want to share somebody? Why would I share my life with somebody who has probably at some point betrayed my trust, probably crossed a boundary? Why or what? You haven't earned the marbles to be in my life. If that makes sense. If you've ever read the book by Dr. Brene Brown, talks about the principle of people who deserve and don't deserve your vulnerabilities, and talks about it in the sense of what's this thing, marbles in a jar, that people, as you get to know them, they earn the right to be in your life. They earn it by being present. They earn it by respecting your boundaries. They earn it by certain things that build trust. So if this person at some point in your life, because you guys broke up, crossed a boundary, betrayed your trust, whatever the case may be, why would I want to share my life with them? Like, for me, it just doesn't make sense as a matter of just pure principle. So not in my regime. I'm not going to be friends with my ex. My girlfriend's not going to be friends with her exes. And not exes. Let's just put it there. As not exes at all. At all. Not under my regime. That is not propaganda I'm falling for. That is not a stereotype that I'm going to accept in my regime. Friends with exes, absolutely no. Love bombing and moving fast, and after 2 weeks in a city, I love you. Yeah, all of that lesbian stereotype, you know what, falling in love like a lesbian and moving fast, and the fact that hindoye too. I'm not falling for that. I am not falling for that. And again, I take it back to a matter of principle. When I unpack this for myself, and I'm like, I look back at my own relationships and all of the times I've sped up the process of getting to know each other. I've gotten into a relationship after a month when I didn't feel comfortable, when I didn't feel ready. And the people pleaser in me was just like, okay, fine, okay, since untand, and obviously I'm an awesome person. Of course, ufuna sithole after a month because I'm awesome, right? That's what I told myself back then. Now that I'm older, I'm like squinting my eyes about kuteni undifuna nje, kuteni udesperate kangaka. If uyayazi uba ndiyi-soulmate yakho ungxamele ndoni, if uyayazi uba we're going to be together forever, yintoni ingxamisileyo? If you know that ndimi soulmate yakho and we're going to be together forever, why singxamele ndoni? Why? So I think I've made this mistake in the past. I've gone into relationships way too fast, or because I didn't have my own boundaries, or because that's right, my girlfriend. I can't touch it, but all because I didn't have boundaries, or because I would abandon myself and be like, okay, fine, she wants to choose me. Let me abandon my principles. Let me abandon my values and who I am. And let me just, give myself up to this person because obviously she knows better. Obviously, I'm trying to please them. Obviously, whatever it is at the time that I was thinking, but I was not in my right mind. And I just don't believe that, I just don't believe in the lesbian stereotype that people should move fast. I've interrogated it for myself, like I'm saying, why did I move fast? And in fact, all of those relationships where I moved fast crashed and burned. And let me tell you something about umjolo ne relationships based on my experience and also based on things that I've heard, I've read, I've seen, whatever it is, that how it starts, how it ends. As quickly as it starts, it will quickly end. As whatever things benizifihla beningaziboni in the beginning sizakwenzeka towards the end of the relationship in. So I'm a firm believer in slow burn, and slow and steady wins the race, in trust building, in forming a bond, in taking your time, just enjoy the experience of getting to know each other without the pressure and the I don't know what you call it, but yeah, mainly like the pressure of what are we doing, just get to know each other without that pressure. Yeah, again, lesbians, you go to hey, you must move fast. Hey. I know we all joke all the time about lesbian years. 2 days is 2 weeks in lesbian time. Ha ha ha. Yes, I get it. But xa sithetha ezantsi irongo lanto. Irongo. Masiyekeni. Okay. Cool. The next one is, but this one, I know my friends are going to hate me for this one. And I always debate this. Well, not always, but it comes up sometimes, and everybody has different experiences with this. And it's a bit of a controversial issue, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to try to articulate it as best as possible so that I avoid any confusion about what I'm trying to articulate here and say. But number 4 for me is, preferring not to date a bisexual woman does not equal... No, wait. Propaganda I am not falling for. Yeah. Propaganda I'm not falling for. So here's my thing. Preferring to not date a bisexual woman equals biphobia. So this is now propaganda I'm not falling for. So if we break it down, what I'm trying to say here is basically, if I prefer not to date a bisexual woman, it doesn't mean that the biphobic. Let me explain. Now, I want to maybe even open this conversation by first apologizing. Just a public apology to all of the people or all of the lesbians that I used to call biphobic back in the day, when people, I think on Twitter or whatever, where the conversation happened, where they said, I prefer not to date a bisexual woman because A, B, C, D, whatever the case may be. I was too young, guys. I was too young. I didn't understand what you guys were saying. That was before life removed all the innocence. And ukahamba kokubona, basically. Ukahamba kokubona. And ndibonile ngoku. And essentially what I'm trying to say, I think, with this topic is, a couple of years ago, I think this was a big debate and a hot topic on Twitter, and I'd hear people's sides, and I used to think that lesbian women who prefer not to date bisexual women are essentially insecure, and where the insecurity comes from essentially it comes from the insecurity of not matching up to a man, or being beaten by a man, and I say, quote in the air, being beaten by a man. In other words, dating is this big competition, and let's say a bisexual woman, let's say as a lesbian woman, you're dating a bisexual woman and she breaks up with you and then goes on to date a man. I thought the qualm that lesbians have with being left for a man or being cheated on with a man is all based on the insecurity around feeling not enough or not matching up to whatever the standard of a man is. I don't know if I'm making sense. Basically, I thought lesbians were in competition with men and they felt essentially insecure that they were being left for men. I was like, lesbians, it's not a competition. I'm a daughter. No. That's what I used to think. That's where I thought you guys were coming from. But ukuhamba kukubona, guys, ukuphila kukubona, and I know better now. and I was too young. And I say this because of my own lived experiences. And what I can say about that is, I prefer not to date. First of all, so I'm single, but if nobody's single, I would prefer not to date a bisexual woman or a woman who is bisexual who has leniency. Because the corner, I don't know what maybe the bisexual community, even the community at all, but I know that bisexuality, it's not a 50-50, but I like women 50% of the time and I like men 50% of the time. There are bisexual women who scale tips between 60-40, 30-70, jalo njalo. But in my experience of dating bisexual women, hey, I want to be careful, guys. I want to be careful. What I'm saying here is, in particular, with particular regards to women who are bisexual, and I find this typically with women who lean more towards liking amadoda more, that they have left me with this bitter taste in my mouth, this taste of feeling like the relationship yethu gumdlalo. Like, it's not, I am serious. It will never, she doesn't take it as seriously as she would take a relationship with a man. You feel it in the way that they speak about the future with you. Hey, I got future apa. Lomdulo, she's here for a good time and not a long time. We are Eva. And I can't really explain it in words more than you just know it when you feel it. It's almost like, I think the most thing I can relate it to, it's almost like institutional racism, right? You can't really prove it. You can't really, it's not really tangible, but as a black person, you just feel it. You feel it in that awkward smile that white people give you, like, You feel it in the way that they don't make eye contact with you. You feel it in the way that they speak around you. You feel it in the way that they exclude you from certain conversations. You just feel it. Similarly, with dating a bisexual woman, it's like they don't take a relationship with a woman seriously. They're there for the sexual experience. They're there for the fun and the games. They're there for ticking a box. They're there for the kikis and the kakas, but they're not there for a long time. They're here for a good time. And therefore you feel it in conversations about the future. You feel it in the way they address issues in the relationship. You feel it in the bedroom and in how they address you. You feel it in the way that they treat you. And papagati, I don't know, for me, but when I'm outside of the relationship, and even when I'm dating lesbian women, you just know. Like, you feel it in the way they eat your pussy. Like, eat my pussy like you worship the ground that I walk on. You know what I mean? Like, eat my pussy like it's the last pussy you'll ever have in the world. Like, worship the ground that I walk on. Bisexual women do not worship the ground that lesbian women that they are dating walk on. They think this is a game. They think kumdlalo. They don't take relationship with a woman as a legit thing. They don't. It's almost like what I was saying to my mother, and I know I'm off ramping here, and I was telling my mother, maybe it's a thing that heterosexual people also kind of don't get. Like, they treat lesbian relationships as though it's a fleeting thing. It's just a phase. And I was telling my mom this the other day when I was, as I'm having these ongoing conversations with her about bisexuality, I'm like, Mama, I'm telling you this because I want you to see me for who I am. I'm a person. I have feelings. Excuse me. I am a person. I have feelings. I'm an adult. I'm not a teenager who doesn't understand what I'm feeling. I know exactly what I feel. I have feelings for a woman. And I'm telling you this because I don't want you years later, my girlfriend home, I want you to give her the same respect that you would give utata wabantwana bomntana wakho. No. Basically, I want you to give my girlfriend the same respect that you would give your son-in-law. Even if I got Jolly, but you can see that this is a person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. There's a validity or a validation or I don't know what it is that heterosexual people just don't, a regard that they just don't have for queer relationships. Queer relationships are serious. Queer relationships are legit. And I want bisexual women to get that in their heads that we're not on a pop bodlalisa. And I'm saying this with such a fiery passion, obviously because of the experiences that I've had. And it just angers me that, you know, that we are seen in this light, we have things to have fun with. And it's always for me just left just a bitter taste in my mouth where bisexual women will say to me, oh my gosh, Push, you are the love of my life, but unfortunately I can't choose you. Like the fact that you can't pick me, the fact that you can't choose me, and you number two, I don't go number two, number one. I don't go number two at all. So I was number two. I want somebody who's gonna pick me, who's gonna choose me, somebody who's gonna take me serious. I don't know feelings, and feelings that are legit and pure and whatever. So I will never fault anybody, and in my regime. And the propaganda I'll never fall for is that having that preference means that we're biphobic. Let me be biphobic then. That's my hot take on it. It's a hot take, and I want you guys to maybe tell me in the comment section how you feel, because I feel very passionate about this. And I'll probably bring Abanyaband, and one day I want to actually bring a bisexual woman as was chazela up the channel by yena uthini ngalento ndithethayo, because I'm of the view that bisexual women tend to not see queer relationships or relationships with other women as long-lasting relationships. And I get it. And I say I get it with a pinch of salt, in the sense that the larger society, the larger heterosexual society does not see queer relationships as legit. Like I'm saying with for example, my mother, and telling her that, Mama, I'm gay, and uba gay kwam ngizawuza nentombazane ithandayo home, and andifuni wena ucinga ba uzawuhlala ebhek okanye uzamfihla. Akhona uzamfihla xa kusithiwa uphumelela phakama nomkakho, umkam uzawuphakama. It's a legit relationship, guys. Like, yandidikela nto yoba thina we are sidelined in society. Funeke sifihlwe, sithini. And that's for me what I felt dating bisexual women, that they don't really feel like a queer relationship is a legit relationship. They only see a relationship as legit only with men. And I guess that's how internalized maybe homophobia also works. They hate the fact that they're attracted to women, and in society is standing sabo asuzoba lawe, in the same way that women without children are not seen as valuable in society. And there's many different examples I can make for this, but for me, I don't see it as biphobia anymore. If you call that biphobia, then maybe the biphobic, and it's fine, guys. Rather than be biphobic, nobody idlalwe bisexual girl mna soze ngiphinde. And that's just not propaganda I'm falling for. I'm sorry. The last one on my little sticky note here is propaganda I'm not falling for is that all women are good people, and relationships with women are easier versus with men. I don't think either is different. And I think we think that women are safer people in society, and I think obviously it's based on many different things. But women are not better people. In fact, women can be sheep, can be wolves in sheep clothing. I don't think being in a relationship with a woman is easier. As a woman, a relationship is easier because you're a woman. Yes, I understand the discourse around, okay, maybe you understand each other, but I think a relationship is only as easy as the people in it who understand themselves. So, in other words, it's easy to understand me if I understand myself, whether I'm a man or I'm a woman. So, based on the premise, Yogoti, no, I understand another woman better. No, it's not that I understand them better. It's that I believe women do more emotional work and dig deeper and do the work more than men do. Therefore, they know themselves more, and therefore they can explain themselves to their partner. Because I think in order for a relationship to work and for there to exist some sort of like synergy between the two of yourselves, the two individuals in the relationship must, to a certain degree, understand themselves and therefore be able to explain themselves to the partner in order for the relationship to quote unquote be easy. So what I'm trying to say is that fundamentally, relationships with women are not easier. But what makes it easy is the fact that women do more work into understanding themselves than what men do. Men don't do any, well, I'm of the view that men don't do any internal work. Well, most men don't do any internal work and therefore spend years not understanding themselves. And that's what makes relationships with them more difficult. It's not the fact that they're men. It's the fact that they're men and they don't do the work to understand themselves. Whereas in the likelihood of women who do the work, higher, because we are just those people who want to understand themselves. We are people of sisterhood. We are the backbone of society. We are just emotional. I don't want to propaganda about emotional because I feel like everybody is emotional. It's just a matter of who suppresses what, where, and how. But essentially, songes ngabantu, and the ease of a relationship depends on the two people in it. And the more you understand yourself, the more you can explain yourself to your partner, and therefore the better the relationship and the better it'll work. So I hope that makes sense. But those are, for me, are the 5 things that I will not fall for, or the propaganda that I will not fall for when it comes to lesbian stereotypes. I'm one, you are me and I am you, but you guys are going back to your exes, you are friends with your exes, you are, what else did I say? You are love bombing and falling in love within 2 weeks. You are dating bisexual women who actually really love men but are here for a good time, not a long time. And you are dating women because you think that it's easier to date women. It's just not. I'm not going to fall for it. That's my regime. What would you say in your regime? What is propaganda that you're not falling for? That you're like, nah, B. You're just not going to fall for that. Tell me in the comment section. And yeah, man, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I know number 4 is going to be controversial. I know. But for me, that's just my lived experience. Even my friends are not agreeing with me. I know Upper Bakoya, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching and clicking here on this channel. I will see you guys in the next video. As I say always at the end of my videos, peace in the Middle East.